Our Milky Way's black hole took 13 billion years to reach 4 million solar masses, but these tiny red dots contain black holes billions of times heavier, and they're only 600 million years old. That's like a newborn being older than his grandfather. Impossible. Yet James Webb found hundreds of them scattered across the ancient universe. Scientists have spent 2 years trying to explain this. Most theories failed. Only one actually fits the data. And honestly, when I first read what it suggests, I didn't want to believe it either. Let me take you back to where this all started. December 2021, humanity launched the most powerful eye ever built, the James Webb Space Telescope. $10 billion, decades of engineering, one mission. Look back in time and show us how the universe began. For 2 years, Webb delivered exactly what scientists expected: ancient galaxies, dying stars, newborn solar systems, beautiful, predictable, safe. Then came early 2024, and everything changed. A team at Cambridge University was scanning Webb's deep field images. These are photographs of the most distant, most ancient parts of our universe. Light that traveled 13 billion years to reach us. They were cataloging galaxies, measuring distances, routine work. Then someone noticed something strange: tiny red dots, scattered everywhere across the oldest regions of space. At first, the team ignored them. Probably distant galaxies, they assumed. The red color made sense. Light stretches over billions of years of travel, shifting toward red. Normal, expected. But Dr. Jorit Mathi couldn't let it go. Something felt wrong. These dots were too consistent, too perfectly scattered, too numerous in regions that should be nearly empty. He decided to look closer. That decision changed everything we thought we knew about the universe. When Mathi analyzed the light coming from these red dots, he found something that shouldn't be possible. Inside each tiny dot was a supermassive black hole. Now, black holes at the centers of galaxies are normal. Our Milky Way has one. It's called Sagittarius A star, 4 million times the mass of our Sun. Took nearly 13 billion years to grow that large. But these red dot black holes were different. Billions of solar masses, not millions, billions, in a universe that was only 600 million years old. Think about what that means. Our black hole needed almost the entire age of the universe to reach 4 million solar masses. These black holes reached billions of solar masses in less than 5% of that time. They grew over 100 times faster than physics says is possible. Mathi ran the calculations again, same result. He shared the data with other teams. They ran their own calculations. Same impossible answer every time. These objects break physics. They shouldn't exist, but they do. So how do you explain something impossible? Scientists proposed 3 theories, and this is where things get uncomfortable. The first theory is called direct collapse. Here's how black holes normally form. A massive star dies, collapses in on itself, creates a small black hole. That black hole then grows slowly by consuming matter around it. Gas, dust, smaller stars, other black holes. This takes billions of years. But what if some black holes skip the first step entirely? In the very early universe, conditions were different. Massive clouds of pure hydrogen gas filled empty space. Under perfect conditions, these clouds might have collapsed directly into giant black holes without ever forming a star first. It's possible, but here's the problem. This requires incredibly rare conditions. The gas cloud needs exact temperature, exact density, exact size. The odds are extremely low. Yet Webb found hundreds of these red dots. If direct collapse is this rare, why are we seeing so many? The second theory involves mergers. What if the early universe was far more violent than we imagined? Picture this: thousands of smaller black holes forming rapidly, then immediately crashing into each other. Merging, growing, merging again. Cosmic cannibalism at unprecedented speed. The math barely works on this one. Barely. It requires the early universe to be far more chaotic than any of our models predict. And even then, it doesn't fully explain the sheer number and size of what we're finding. So we're left with the third theory, the one that actually fits all the data, the one that most scientists don't like talking about. What if our understanding of physics is fundamentally incomplete? What if there are laws governing the universe that we haven't discovered yet? Rules that operated in the early cosmos that we know nothing about? Processes that can create massive structures almost instantly by our standards? Or here's the thought that keeps certain astronomers awake at night. What if these objects aren't entirely natural? Before you dismiss that idea, consider this. We've found hundreds of these impossible red dots, all with nearly identical characteristics, all scattered across the ancient universe in a pattern that seems almost deliberate, like markers, like signposts, like someone placed them there. Dr. Matthey himself said publicly, and I'm quoting him directly, "We simply don't know how nature managed to create these objects. Something fundamental is missing from our understanding." Something fundamental is missing. When a leading scientist at one of the world's most prestigious universities says those words, it means something significant. Scientists don't admit ignorance easily. They have theories for everything, models, equations, explanations. But not for this. What we're potentially looking at is evidence that intelligence existed in our universe far earlier than we ever imagined possible. Not millions of years before us, not billions of years before us. Intelligence that existed before most stars and galaxies even formed. A civilization, if we can even use that word, so advanced that they were manipulating the fabric of space and time when our universe was still a cosmic infant. I know how that sounds, trust me. When I first encountered this theory, I dismissed it immediately. It sounds like science fiction. It sounds like fantasy. But then I looked at the alternatives. Direct collapse doesn't explain the numbers. Mergers don't fully work mathematically, and our physics has already been proven incomplete multiple times throughout history. We once thought the universe was static. Wrong. We thought nothing could escape a black hole. Wrong. We thought we understood gravity. Then dark energy proved us wrong again. Every generation of scientists believes they've figured out the fundamental rules. Every generation eventually discovers they were missing something crucial. These red dots might be that discovery for our generation, evidence that the universe is far stranger, far older in terms of intelligence, and far more mysterious than we ever dared imagine. Right now, as you're hearing this, James Webb is still out there, orbiting a point in space 1,000,000 miles from Earth, still scanning the ancient universe, still finding more red dots, more impossible objects, more questions that nobody can answer. Every few months, new research papers appear, new data gets analyzed, new theories get proposed and rejected. The scientific community is scrambling to explain what we're seeing, but 2 years later, nobody has succeeded. Every natural explanation has problems. Every model falls short. And meanwhile, those red dots just sit there, scattered across the oldest photographs ever taken, silent, impossible, waiting for us to figure out what they really are. Maybe we'll develop new physics that explains everything. Maybe some brilliant mathematician will discover equations that make these objects perfectly natural and expected. Maybe in 10 years, we'll look back at this mystery and laugh at how confused we were. Or maybe we'll discover something else entirely, something that forces us to accept that we are not the first intelligent beings to exist in this universe, not by a long shot. Something that makes us realize we're walking through a cosmos that was shaped by minds we cannot comprehend, for purposes we cannot imagine. That's the question these tiny red dots are asking us, and right now, humanity doesn't have an answer. The universe took 13 billion years to produce us, beings capable of asking questions about our own existence, capable of building telescopes that can see back to the beginning of time, capable of wondering whether we're alone. And now those telescopes are showing us something impossible, objects that break our physics, patterns that seem designed, evidence that maybe, just maybe, something else was here first. What that something was, where it went, and whether it's still watching, those are questions we're only beginning to ask. And honestly, I'm not sure we're ready for the answers. But ready or not, the evidence is there. Hundreds of tiny red dots, hiding in plain sight, in the oldest corners of our universe, waiting.